I am so excited to be here, you guys, with Robin Carbajal, who's going to be showing us a really new tool that is great for younger children. You're going to actually get to see a virtual classroom, and it's called Koala. So, Koala is a classroom that was really designed for younger kids in mind. And when I saw this, I think it was just like a week or two ago, Robin, that you were showing our community this tool. And I was like, oh, I've chatted with these people before. I remember really liking it. And it's so cool. But to see how Robin is using it, I think you guys are just going to flip out with insanity because it is awesome and it's free. So who doesn't love that piece of it, right? So Robin, what are some things that you personally liked when you first heard about Koala and you started using it?
Well, first off, it was something different. Everyone else was doing Zoom or WebEx, and those were things that adults were using. And frankly, they were just a little bit boring.
Right.
And so I wanted, I'm just starting my tutoring business. I wanted to do something different and something that I could use to market myself, something that would also, if there was someone who was sort of on the fence about, I don't know about this online stuff, that I could show, well, no, my online is different.
Right.
Let me show you.
And
then I pull up Koala, and that really gets people excited. And then I also can kind of compare Koala. It looks like a video game. It looks like you're inside of a video game. And find me a kid who doesn't like video games. And parents know how their kids love to be on video games. And so if you're dyslexia tutoring or math tutoring or whatever it might be, looks like a video game, boy, that can put someone who's on the edge go, yeah, you know what? That is a great idea. You might live a world away from me, but I'm going to hire you as my tutor because this Koala that you're using is amazing. And then, so you're kind of selling two things. You're selling you and yourself and your qualifications and your expertise in the field that you are tutoring, but then also you're also different and special because you're using different platforms that the kids really enjoy.
Right.
So,
and really, I think one of the things that I have found that parents really want to make sure that their kids are having fun while they're in session. And they'll even ask their kids, like after the session, so did you have fun? Like that's like their one question that they ask their kid. And if they're inside of a tool like Koala, of course they're going to say, yes, I had fun. And I absolutely love that. So tell people about what your qualifications are. What do you tutor and all that great stuff, Robin?
Yeah, so I am a dyslexia therapist. I am a CALD certified academic language therapist, which is kind of a fancy word for a dyslexia teacher. And I'm also a certified dyslexia therapist. And so I help kids that struggle with reading, whether they actually have a dyslexia diagnosis or they don't. Maybe they just struggle in reading. I'm the gal. That's the kids that I help.
I know. So we're in the same wheelhouse. I love it. So
yeah.
And I want to make sure that you guys understand that while we're showing you a tool that is really great for younger kids, because there's never been a tool really designed for younger kids in mind like this, that there's also things that if you work with older kids that you can I want you guys to start brainstorming, well, how could I use this with my students, right? And so that's exactly what Robin is going to do today. She's going to show you some classrooms that she has designed and how she uses them with students. And then she's also going to show you guys how to set up like your own classroom from the very start. Which one did you want to start with, Robin?
You know what? Let's just start first with the Koala website so that people know how to get started.
Absolutely.
With Koala.
Sounds good.
Sound good?
Yep.
Awesome. Is it okay if I share my screen?
I would love that.
Perfect. Let's see. Let me move this over. All right. Can y'all see this purple koala?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, so first you would go to teachwithkoala.com, teachwithkoala.com. So in Koala, here's where you would download the app. There's a marketplace, how-to videos, webinars, a blog. So someplace just to start. I really started, especially with their weekly webinar, just to figure out what is this, what to do. Again, it's free and so forth. So then let's say you've already downloaded Koala. What do you do next? So it would look like this. So you would start in, and whether you're a teacher, whether you are a student, you would still come to this loading pad, so to say. So let's say I was a student. I would click join a classroom, and you would put in your teacher's address. So my teacher's address is 100 Panda Path. So my kids would type in 100 Panda Path, join room, and they would be able to join me. But in this case, I'm the teacher. So I want to host a room. So there's a couple ways I can invite my students to come to me. I could copy this address. And so you can see, app.koala Koala Classroom, join, and then my address, copy, and so forth. So that's one way. Or you could invite a student and send them an email. So right now, also you can set however many students you want, as many as 10. But for right now, I'm just going to put in 0. It's just going to be me there. So I'm going to open my room.
And this works best on Google Chrome, correct?
Chrome, yes.
Which actually is a beautiful thing, because a lot of our students have Chromebooks when they're in the earlier elementary grades.
Yes, exactly. So right now, I am in just an empty classroom. As you could see, I turned on my camera. Mm-hmm. When I turned on my camera, I have a couple different monitors going here. So my camera was set for Facebook. So I went in here to the settings. I changed my camera to my webcam, but there's a couple different things that you can do in here: your microphone, your speaker, and so forth. Awesome. So this right here is just a plain classroom. This is exactly, if you were to load in brand new classroom, nothing else going on, this is what it would look like. And so this right here also is our, I started to make something over here. I guess it wasn't perfectly empty. I was in here playing around a little bit, but technically I'm just going to erase it because I'll show you later how to do that. So this is just an empty classroom. They all come looking like this.
Awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That is very cool.
So this right here, this is the Halloween theme. In fact, I should show you this. This is kind of cool. So one of the things, there's multiple boards. Each one of these big white boards is a focus board that you can do your lessons on. So this also, there's a balcony. So up here, and this is, of course, we have the cemetery graveyard back there. You don't have to point that out if your kids aren't quite ready for that, but especially some of the older kids, older elementary, middle school, think that's pretty cool. So you can see the area around here. And then you press here to go back down. So one of the things I can also do is I can change what my classroom looks like. So like I said, this is the Halloween. This is the Halloween theme right now that I have in. But I could go to, let's say, the space theme. I think this one especially is good for older kids. Mm-hmm. So again, this is perfectly empty. There's nothing here. Except I did come in and I did, well, I'll show you that in a minute. Let me first just kind of show you around so you can see what all this looks like. So it's pretty fun. And then one other theme, and they're always kind of adding different themes. So right now what is loading up is the farm theme, and this is what everything originally looked like. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to, so all these whiteboards, one here, there's several all around, one up there. I can focus in on them. So I'm going to focus in first. I'm going to click focus view. And so I pulled up this, you have a web browser inside of Koala. So all of the different, maybe you like to use Kids A to Z or RAS Kids. Mm-hmm. You can go in and and have that ready to go.
Yeah.
I loaded up Koala. I do some word wall stuff. I love that. And maybe you have something that you loaded up. Maybe you have some PowerPoints or whatnot. You could also load that in as well. This is on Google. Let's say you have right here, you can also load up. Let's say I want to load something. So I just went right here and loaded up. Let's say I have a document that I want people to be able to see. Mm-hmm. I could click this and go in and just load up whatever document I might want. Okay, so that is just your empty classroom. You know what? Let me show you. Let's see. Let me use this one. Focus. So just to kind of give you an idea, when you first start, it's like one of the things that I guess can be overwhelming, I think, is when you don't quite know where to start.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of help that you can get on the Koala Facebook group, the Facebook group. Mm-hmm. There is tons of help. So let's just do something super easy. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to click a sticky note. Click a sticky note and paste it on. I'm going to press the space bar. So now it's basically just a little box. I'm going to come over here. I want it maybe just a little bit bigger. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to press the clone tool. I'm going to click it. And I'm just going to make a series of a couple boxes. And I'm talking with a student at the same time, and I'm doing this while the student's there. Maybe I want these different colors. Well, in this case, I do want them different colors. I can come over and change the color for each one of these. And this, as I'm doing this, is as I'm asking my student, how was your weekend? How did everything go? Or what are you planning on doing for Halloween? So forth. Okay, so now I'm going to press, I'm going to go over here. I selected them all. I'm going to lock them in. Okay. Now I'm going to go down here, and here's my clone tool again. I'm just going to double up here a little bit. And I'm just doing this so you can see how quick and easy it is to create, right? Mm-hmm. So now, let's say we're going to do an activity. Let's sound out the word tab. K-a-b. We bring it down. K-a-b. And if I wanted to, I could put in the letters, but I don't have to. In this particular case, I just want to do the phonological awareness activity. And then I could say, okay, this is tab, but now what would I do if I wanted this to be tab? Which sound would I change? Oh, right, I would change the first sound. Mm-hmm. So easy it is to start to develop some activities. Now, I'm going to go down here, and we're going to get out of this empty classroom, but I just wanted you to see how quickly you can start to design and make something out of your empty classroom. Right there, the kid's right there with you at the same time. I'm going to go to workspaces. Isn't that awesome?
I think that's really awesome because there's not really a lot of tools that you can use for phonological awareness activities, but that was like a really easy one that you found to be able to utilize. That's awesome.
Yes. So this right here, I'm going to press free roam so you can kind of see how I've slowly added things. So this is a student. I just started with this summer. So just a few months ago. I'm not an expert at all. Truly just got started. But I want you to be able to see how just working with a student, how slowly I have just simply added a little bit here, a little bit there. And before you know it, you have something, right? You've got a lot of stuff going. Since when I first started, all I really knew how to use initially was the sticky notes. So I went wild on sticky notes. So for example, she was struggling with remembering some of her sight words. So this right here was where we were learning how to spell the word the, because she would forget. So, and notice how sometimes like my head might get in the way. This is my avatar. You can see my avatar. I should have pointed that out earlier. I can come over here and I can click first person view. And now you can see a little bit better. Now now my head's not in the way of my activity. So let's see. Last time I was here, because sometimes she would get in, she'd click, 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 and she would erase some things. So you have a little lock. So all of these are locked. I'm now going to unlock them so we can move them. And so I would have her come in and we would talk about how can we spell the word the. And we would spell the. So again, this is just sticky notes. That's it. So I've done that. These are books in Raz Kids that we would do. Isn't that awesome? This right here, especially if a student who's really young, who maybe struggles to move around and navigate within Koala, one thing that's nice is you can change boards. So I have all of these different boards. She doesn't have to move if she's struggling with moving, or maybe she's just a stinker and not staying where you want this, the student to stay. You can focus them in, and they can't move. So here I am, and here we just went through and we read our sight words: to, look, the, in. If I had a student that really was concerned, because in this case, the turtle who wants to get to her eggs. This particular student loves turtles. So I actually went in over here and I uploaded clip art. I uploaded images that I got. This is an image from Google that I uploaded literally in the lesson because I was trying to come up with something that would engage her. Turtles, let me come up with something. So using this is a way to review her sight words.
And we did just have the question. So the student can go on in and change this, like can control the screen too, like they can be interactive with it.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's say, for example, in fact, I don't know if anyone out there would like to join me. They certainly can. I'll just sort of add some seats here. So I can add up, I'm at 100 Panda Path. So if you go to Koala, just like I showed you in the beginning, go to Koala, put in 100 Panda Path. Remember, you're going to go to join a classroom and put them all in. So if anyone cares to join me.
And Path, is it P-A-T-H?
Yeah,
Path. Okay. 100 Panda Path. I put that down inside of the thing in there.
Yeah.
And then you guys are going to be able to actually join in and be part of the classroom right now if you choose to.
Yeah. So, and here's something else. Let's say, because a lot of what we do is Orton Gillingham instruction for what I do. Other people do math. It's used for everything. Maybe you're doing it for second languages, but let's say I'm trying to teach a sound. And let's say, for example, sometimes the digraph TH sound can be tricky. So I might take my picture here, right? Blow it up, and I might say, okay, everyone, watch my lips. And to show close-up detail of what I look like. And you can do the same thing for a student. So let's say I want a student to see what we're doing side by side. I can click on, once I have some people join, I could click on the student. We could both blow both of our pictures up and have those pictures up large side by side. Ah, I have a student, how exciting. Oh, and they can hear me. So let's see. So you know what that means is, I don't know if you can see me. It says my internet is unstable. Oh, it brought me back to private. Okay. Might have been more than, our bandwidth could have taken there, but I don't know if you guys can you guys still hear me?
Yep, we can still hear you.
There we go. So let's say someone came in and notice how I could hear them, right? Mm-hmm. I could come over and I could say, maybe someone is drawing a little bit too much. And I could say, I'm sorry, Miss Adele, I'm not going to be able to let you draw anymore. If you keep following my directions, though, you will be able to draw. So I could, or maybe she's picking up things she's not supposed to. I could prevent her from doing some of those things. Mm-hmm. Or I could kick her out nicely, of course. But let's say, for example, sometimes when I have my classes back to back, if I have too many seats open, maybe I have a class that's one-on-one, but I have an extra seat open, and my next student is a little anxious to join, and they join a little bit too easy, or not too easy, too
early.
Quickly, too early. I can easily then say, I'm so sorry. You're 5 minutes early. I'm still finishing up with so and so, and then I could kick them out and then say, come on and join me back again in just a few minutes. So let's see. Here we go. So you can use, let's see, let me show you.
So we did have the question, do you have different classrooms for each student? So could you have different classrooms if you wanted for each student?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so you can have different classrooms if you wanted to, or you could keep just the one same classroom if you wanted to as well. It's totally up to you on how you handle that.
Yes, and to be honest, I'm still kind of figuring out what works for me. And what I've realized, I think it really depends on the student. Mm-hmm. So, for example, let's just go to my workplaces. Let's just see what we have. So, I have Hannah. I have one that just used for the 5th grade. I have my Koala Orton Gillingham, room 3 with closed syllables. Here's some of my students. So I might have a classroom that I use exclusively with a particular student. Mm-hmm. Or let's say that I have someone else. So let's say that you can make templates. So I'm going to back up just a minute. Let me kind of show you. I don't want to go too far all over the place. So this right here is a sample classroom. So this is what I started with from scratch, nothing else. Like you can even see right here where I've loaded things up from add images. I have used the text box to put text here. This is me, myself. I'm not good at decorating. I'm not good at designing things. This is me just simply coming up with what I need to for a student. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go to my demo classroom. And I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. One, I want that if anyone does want to join me, I want you to have something to do. So again, if I'm at a focus board, you have to be with me in that focus board, right? But if we're in the courtyard right here, just in the courtyard, you can run around however you want. There was Faith. She kind of came in and went. But so let's say I started right here. I'm going to focus you and say, and this is what I used when I was training some other teachers on it. I said, welcome to my koala room. There's 7 skills, 7 challenges. So the first challenge, I'm letting you know this also so that you know, but also people in my classroom. So you can use the arrows to navigate, to run around, use the arrows back, forward, side to side, but you can also use the keys AWSD, just like you're playing a video game, to navigate around. So go ahead and practice that. The other one is to use the text box. So let's see. Faith is back. Okay, Faith, if you are here, feel free to click on text box. Come on over and just go ahead and click the big A. And you can write a note. And I can make that note big.
She did say that it's running a little bit slow on her side.
Yeah, it happens every now and then. I can change the color on it and so forth. Yeah, isn't that cool? So that's how I made these. And that's how, just simply with the controls down here, with those controls, you can make anything that from the classroom that I just showed you. You could make any of that. Then we're going to change board. Let's go. That was challenge 1 and 2. Let's go over here. Go ahead and write your name. Click the drawing tool, and we can both be drawing. So this little dot here, you can see me, but this other little dot, the pink dot, yeah, oh, that's Adele. Awesome. Hi. And then let's say you're writing your name and whoops, you make a mistake, right? Go down, click the eraser, and there you go, all gone. and you can fix it. For your drawing, go over, you can click over here, you can change the thickness, however you want. I especially use this when we're doing syllable division and I want to be able to write a line through syllables. I might need to switch to have something, a line that's more narrow. Good job. All right. And then let's see. I didn't forget your question. I'm actually working up to it. So, okay. I showed you the clip art. Go ahead and go down to the bottom left and click clip art. Or you can, of course, download anything that you want. But this is, again, where you could, so one of my students, I use this for, she loves turtles, my turtle gal, she loves turtles. And so I have this, so every time she does something and I want to reward her, I have turtles up here and, oh, you did so awesome, you just earned another turtle. And so she earns turtles. So let's say we have that activity where, let's say instead of having our sticky notes and we were moving sticky notes, let's say we were moving this right here. Let's say we were moving these. And so I'm going to lock them in, and then I'm going to clone just a few. And then we can use that, you know, to make our sounds. Switch back to my cursor so I can pick it up and grab. So bat, b, a. Okay, so I can do that. Now, let's say that I'm in this room and I really, really like it. Like I've come up with an awesome idea and it's so cool. And I want to be able to use this with other kids. Okay, so I'm going to go down here. Here's my workspaces. So these are all classrooms that I have created in the past. Well, not necessarily I created. Some of these, so if there's a name, I've probably created them. But several of these were some that I had gotten because I attended a Koala webinar or a Koala class, and they gave me a free template, and I could download something and get something for free. So let's say that I'm right now, I am in my Koala Classroom demo, but let's say I like it so much, I want to make this into a template. So there we go. I can make, let's see, here's one. This is just one of my the ones. I can name this. Well, let's say this is the for Adele, because Adele was struggling to learn how to do some of those sight words, especially the word the. So that was a previous classroom that I had saved. And now I'm able to use it just with Adele. So you can make templates and save them. So and then you can also have a template that you like, but let's say you have one board in that template that you really like. But you have a student that you have everything designed for that student. You've been working with the student for a while, you've developed some things, and you have all these boards with everything. You don't want to switch to a completely different classroom. You just want to take this one cool board and load it up into Adele's classroom. You can do that. You can save it as a template, and then you can, the three little dots on the side, you can click to have that template loaded up into your current workplace. So this right here is a template. I'm going to click free roam. So here's one of the things. This particular student that I developed this for was getting confused when they saw the word the with different colors, and these are actually pictures that I just made a screenshot, loaded them up, and so we would find these and she would put the word the's in the basket and listen, find all the words and put them in the basket. but that was me. So you can actually have your students record themselves. And so when you click on something, it will speak.
Oh, that's fun.
Good job, Adele.
Woo, Adele. I love it.
Isn't that cool?
It is so cool.
Yeah, so over here we have this little making sentences, and I know Adele is working so hard gathering the word the from all over the place, but let's say Adele was getting just a little bit too out of control. Adele, come on, sweetheart, we need to really get working hard. So I cut Adele off. She's not able to run around the classroom anymore. Adele right now is with me. She's looking at the same thing I am. And I can see Adele. See how she's moving all around over here? Mm-hmm. So there's, oh, Adele, oh dear, sweetheart, I love that you want to make sentences so much just like I do. However, you're drawing all over our boards. I go in, so I clicked over here to my little person, and not going to kick her out. We just need to have a little bit of direction.
Take her draw, yeah. Take her draw.
She can't draw anymore. She can't draw anymore. So then I can go over here, and then so I would just kind of over here. So, you want to encourage them, but at the same time, need to get her stuff done, right? Because it's online education. Mom is probably in the background listening to everything we're doing. So I need to make sure that I get Adele, working hard. So let's see, and probably, yep. Notice how I held down my mouse, selected everything. Why did I do that? Because last time I was working with Adele, she was starting to erase everything. And thinking ahead that, I'm sorry, it was over here. Let me go back. This is where I invite students. Let's say another student wants to join us. That was the one with the person with the plus. Managing is right here where I have my couple different students I'm going to manage. So I'm a little bit concerned that Adele might start to erase things again like she did last time. In fact, you know what, Adele, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I'm gonna cut you off on everything. But hey, Adele, you know what? If you are really, really good, after this activity, we're going to change your avatar and you get to be whatever you want to be. Does that sound good?
That sounds awesome.
Yay! Cool. So over here.
I was actually going to ask that question. Do they get to change their avatars?
Yes.
And they do. Absolutely. That's awesome. Do they earn points? Or can you just allow them to do it once in a while?
That is your choice. So you can give them points. Like, for example, my points in this particular case was turtles. And her parents would give her rewards for the number of turtles that she earned. Mm-hmm. Let's say, it could be flowers that someone wants to earn. It could be points. It could be whatever. I could be over here and I might just be, tallying up points or whatnot. Great job. You got 5 points. Or it could be something else where now I'm going to give you 30, I'll set a timer. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. You get to change your avatar and do whatever you want. So right now we're going to make some sentences. So this right here would be, this is the first one I would do. As we get going, pretty soon there'd be the, and of, and to, and is, and so forth that the students could choose from. So we would have the car. Let's say I'm going to use my clone tool. And let's say I did not realize, but over the weekend, Adele's mom was working on the, and suddenly she knows the. So now, oh, whoops. Okay, what I was planning on doing isn't working anymore. So now we're going to learn to. And you saw I just made 2 from copying my the, just made 2. So now we're going to have to the car. Or I could say to, or I could make one over again. I could just have to a tree. And let's say, so this it's too small, right? So I'm going to go over here I'm going to turn on my bold. I want it folded. I want to change my size. But let's say this is specifically what we're working on, because let's say every time I pull this up and my students reading this, every time they say to a tree, and I want them to know that they need to say or a, to a tree perhaps. So I might turn this and make this, let's make this red, since this is what we're really working on. Now, let's say Adele is doing so awesome. I am going to let her now change her avatar. So I don't know actually if she can change her avatar, because I believe you do have to have an account. But Adele, if you can, if you do have an account, if you go down here to the bottom right, click Customize Avatar. And if you notice my avatar, I'm in my fall outfit. So I can go over here and I can change my outfit. I'm going to change my shirt. I can change my skirt. I can change whatever I want. You can put on a tie or not.
Maybe not with that shirt.
Yeah, I think that's a backpack actually. Maybe not with that shirt. Right, exactly. Oh, there's my tie. I can use a tie. So, and here's my that I scattered all over the place, and then that's the door. I'm going to leave that right there. But you can change, for example, your pointer. Mm-hmm. You can change the color of your pointer and all sorts of stuff. So the kids love that. It's really awesome, some of the stuff they come up with. So let's see, tell me what other questions you have.
Yeah.
Oh, Adele's been changing her outfit. Do you see that?
Yes, look at that. You look great, Adele. Fabulous. She's like, it's the only thing she would allow me to do.
You know what, Adele, your behavior has been so awesome. I am so proud of you for making those good choices. Thank you for reminding me. Let me go ahead and give you back some of those privileges.
Now, one of the questions somebody had was, can you buy different boards?
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Yes. Let's see. So I'll be honest, I have not actually done that yet, but it is something that, here we go, that I would like to do. So I was on Workspaces. These are all the ones that I've made or someone's given me, but they could also be a list of ones you bought. So go over here to templates. Again, these are templates that I have made, and then some that perhaps are given me, like kind of like a promo code if you attend something, so you could import a template with a code, or over here, discover new templates, which just popped up over here. It's opened up. So underneath here, I have Koala still, but it opened up something new in just my browser in Chrome. And so here are some things that you can buy. You can see how this one right here, was this Orton Gillingham too. You can see some of the things that I had in mind, the crayons and so forth. These are some of the ones that are featured. A lot of teachers that use this. Oh, look at that. Guide you through the various types of dyslexia. Cool. Oh, wait, what did I say? Dr. Lauren. Ooh, I'm going to have to take a look at that one. Fall image library. All sorts of stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So you can come over here and
so you can go and buy them. And are there any that are just free, or do you have to buy them all?
You know what? I'll be honest. So this literally opened up, I believe it was last week. I think last Wednesday. So I haven't explored this a lot. I have several that I've gotten for free by attending things. Oh, look, it's right there.
Oh yeah, there we go. There's a free button right there.
Yeah, we are learning together. Look at that. A free, non-free, and all. Okay, cool. Look, cool. Oh, yeah. Check it out. Details. Oh, I guess it's just, oh no, it's pulling it up. Okay. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but yeah, so I guess get for free. So I would sign in here and so forth, and then I guess I'd be able to upload that. And so they call that's the Koala Marketplace. So if someone, for me, let me show you one that, okay, here we go. I'm going to open. So even though I'm here with Adele, every time I change classrooms, she's just going to come with me. We just go together to the next classroom. So you can see some people have a gift. Okay, this is, I mean, to me, I'm like, that's amazing to me. This was given to me. Or I think you can also purchase this as well. But you can see how someone has taken one of this. See this right here? Now I can't zero in on this because it's not an actual whiteboard, but someone had taken whoever gave me this code that I got for free, took a sticky note and kind of played with it a little bit, manipulated it, and was able to make it stand up into a board. So that's what that is. These here, they probably just uploaded images. When I first started, I couldn't quite see past all of that. There was so much stuff, and I needed to play with it a little bit. So I first started by doing things like maybe just borrowing a little bit at a time. Okay, let's say I really liked the contractions. Okay, and I'm going to go to first person view.
Oh, fun. I love that bingo there. That's fun.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. So see, right now our heads are getting in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So if I switch to first person view, I can see this. But here's the thing. Miss Adele, because you know how sometimes Miss Adele can get a little all over the place. She actually might not be here because I'm focusing on one thing and I'm going to have to physically move my body. No, she's here. Good job, Adele. In fact, you know what? Adele has been really, really good. I'm going to back up. And Adele, would you do me a favor, hon? Would you come right here? Do you see that? This little box right here? I'm going to make it red so you can remember. I would like you to stand right there. And could you turn around? And I want you to keep turning until you see the ice cream cones. Good job, Adele. So down, Adele, down at the bottom right, I want you to click on the circle at the bottom right. And I want you to click on first person view. And she might actually, I don't know her view. She might actually be at first person view already. Oh, this is good to show you. I backed up too far. I am still in third person view, but what happened is that I backed up so far, I'm essentially I'm behind the decorations. I just need to move forward. So now my head's in the way and I can't see anything either. So I'm going to go down, first person view, and now we can work on this activity. And technically, Adele's head is in my way too. But as a teacher, I'm going to move out of her way because I know that because she is right there, she's with me, she's looking at this, and we can practice these activities. And then we can play bingo. So a lot of these are locked in. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to select all of these. See, they're locked. I'm going to unlock them. So that way, when we play bingo, we can move them around. And sometimes that does happen. Sometimes it gets a little bit tricky with what's in front or behind. That I just put a second one on top of it. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I have found that my students enjoy it so much, especially my little ones, because here's something. So I'm doing usually when I start and I'm doing my free evaluation, and I'm evaluating the reading skills, and then I'm talking with the parent afterward and showing the parent, this is what the student did and so forth. And I at that point in time, when I am just testing the student, we are not in Koala. Why? Because it's too cool. The kids want to be looking at it. I need it to be boring.
Right.
So I Zoom that first meeting because they're the first time the kid's meeting me. They're usually in their best behavior because I'm someone new. And so I'm doing the assessment, and the child is usually for that, usually they're paying attention pretty well because of the newness of it all. When we're done, then I talk with the parent, we're Zooming and so forth. And then what I do is essentially what we're doing right here is I have the parent here on Zoom, but I will open up Koala so that they can see what Koala looks like.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then a lot of times we'll have the student come back in, and sure enough, the kid goes, "Whoa, that is so cool. Look at that." And again, if someone is kind of on the fence, you show them this, because a lot of times they think, oh, you know what, I was at home when this whole pandemic thing started, and I saw what this looked like. This whole Zooming, and maybe it was Zoom, maybe it was WebEx, maybe it was whatever. I'm going to follow Miss Adele because I don't really know what she's getting into. So she's doing great. She's doing her thing. Adele, you know what I'd love you to do is, Adele, if you could come down the bottom here, see where it says clone tool. It looks like a couple of squares on top of each other. You can click on that, and you can come over here and you can make some words. I'm going to have you go ahead and just make some words. So my parents are saying, oh, I don't know about this online. This was an absolute disaster. I saw it. They were doing school from home, and it was just really a mess. So I always assure them, you know what? When we first started, it was a mess. It was a mess. It was horrible. But it doesn't have to be that way. And you know, that's when I first started with this. I first started with Zoom, with WebEx, trying to learn it, trying to figure it out. And just since this summer, in a really short period of time, I feel really comfortable with Koala. And now, oh, so sweet, Adele. So you can see that. So the parent goes, oh, yeah, you're right. That isn't boring. That is not at all what I saw my kid trying to do. And you probably, you know, if you were in the public school system at that time, like I was, you probably also were just like me going, I don't know how to erase. I don't know how to do any of this. But it's not that way anymore. It's pretty cool. So,
and we just had the question, do the students learn how to use this tool quickly? And we were just actually chatting about that beforehand.
Yes, they learn very, very quickly. And so really this first time when I am first with a student, one of the things that's kind of cute, which you can do, and it doesn't usually work with a room that's quite as busy as this one. This one is one that I would work up to, right? It has too much going on, but I would start with an empty classroom so they could run around an empty classroom, see what that looks like. And then I would maybe go into the classroom where each board said, write your name. Then the board would say, you know, get a sticky note so that kids could learn the tools and so forth. But another thing that I like to do is what we did before with where I hid the word the. And so I might, for example, hide the letters in their name. So I would go into a room ahead of time, and I would just, you know, click some clicky notes, click some sticky notes, and write their name, each on a letter, and put them in various places of the room. And the student has to run around the room to find them, and to then move to click and select, and to press down. They would need to press down on their mouse to drag over to a board, and then they can spell their name. So the kids learn it really, really fast. When I was first starting, we were, you know, kind of learning it together. And but if you start, like if you come in and you go straight to Marketplace, those Marketplace classrooms are decked out. I'm just going to kind of look around here while we're talking. Those Marketplace classrooms are decked out. They have all sorts of stuff. Every square piece of real estate in this whole room is filled with something, right? Sometimes, this is one way that people organize them. Sometimes they develop rooms based on their lessons. So they could have room 1, room 2, room 3, where they would introduce, let's say they're going to start by introducing multiplying by 1. Let's say if you're a math tutor, your first room might be multiplying by 1. You have a room all about that. And then you have another room multiplying by 2. So it could be designed by classrooms. It could be designed by student. I kind of have a little bit of each because sometimes I have a room where my student is that I'm building up on because it has things that she's reviewing or he's reviewing. And then I also have templates that I like to load up. but then other times you want a room that's already decked out, ready to go, like this one, ones that you would buy from the marketplace. Or if you're just good at this stuff, some people just love this. And so you can see this, you know what I think? Notice how this one has absolutely nothing in it. It wasn't too long ago that the developers added this area. We didn't used to have this area just a few months ago. So they had just this area right here. So that's why in this particular template, just this area is filled. So I would, for me personally though, I like to first start with it nice and easy, empty room, let me build up. And then I add a little bit at a time. Mm-hmm. And then once you get used to it, once your students are used to seeing stuff on all the walls, because you can see right here, if you took a student who's never been in Koala ever, you loaded them straight into this room right away, you've kind of lost them.
Yeah, it's kind of overwhelmed for them. Right. Adele was wondering, is there a way to reset a room after it's been worked in?
No, but that's where, well, okay, yes and no. That's where those templates come in.
Right.
If you have a template, you want to have your template, save it as is, and then if you want to work in it and play around with it a little bit, and then you realize, oh, I kind of screwed up, I don't want that at all, you have one, you can do the undo button down here. There's the undo button to go back one step or maybe two steps, but otherwise you would just go back to your original template. Mm-hmm. But pretty much, like if I were to leave right now, so I could click here, if I were to leave this classroom, right? And I had lunch, I came back and I loaded up Koala again, it would be in exactly the same place. My avatar would be in the same place. This would be the same classroom. So you can, so if you're wanting to start with a template, if you're wanting to start back from scratch, you would have to go back into the template. Whereas if you wanted to stay where you were before, let's say you have your classes back to back and you didn't have time to write notes in between each, and or just to remind yourself, you're like, what did we do last time? Simply by going back, or maybe it's next week, simply by going back into Adele's classroom. So this is Adele's classroom. I'm going to save it as Adele's classroom. I think, where am I right now? Close syllables. There we go. Last used with Miss Adele. So I could save this. I'm going to duplicate this. I don't want to write on top of my template. Okay, so here it is. And then I can rename it. And so now this is Adele's classroom. So now everything that we do, when Adele and I get back together again and I'm in her next lesson, I can see what I've worked on last time. So you really, you do have to be a little bit careful in the sense that every time you add on, it's like Google, it just automatically saves where you are.
Yeah. So what devices work with this? Do they have to be on a computer in order for it to work?
Ooh, that's a good question. Right now, you do need to be on a computer. And I know you should be able to use Chromebooks. I'm not really very good at Chromebooks. I haven't used Chromebooks that much. So some people, there's some different functionalities, I think, with a Chromebook, but typically right now, just being on any computer, desktop, laptop, any computer is best. But I know in a short period of time, just within the next weeks or months, this year, they are rolling out that you can use this on a tablet, on an iPad or something to that effect. I don't think you can right now. Literally, this stuff it is new. I mean, It is just rolling out. You can literally email the developers and they will get back to you right away. I know there was one gal who was really cool. She had a student that had a feeding tube, and there's not that many individuals with a feeding tube. And so she posted on the Koala Facebook group, and she explained, and she said, I'd really like for my student to be able to make an avatar that looks like him. Is it possible that you could add a feeding feeding tube as one of the avatar features. Boom. Like within the day, there was an avatar with a feeding tube that you could select the feeding tube as a feature. So the developers are really amazing. And anytime you have questions, you can, I mean, especially if you attend a webinar, you kind of get hooked in. You can, you get their contact information and you can email them for questions. Or anytime you post anything on the Facebook page, they respond. People respond immediately right away.
I love it. So, I love it. What a great company.
It really is. And it's free. I mean, if I have a choice between Zoom or Koala, I can do the exact same things here. I have my whiteboard. I can go into a browser that I could do with Zoom. So I might as well do it here. And if I want to keep it simple, I can keep them focused in on boards the whole time. And they don't even see any of the other stuff.
Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Robin, for really walking us through all the really cool different features that they have inside of this tool, and for taking the time to really share with us everything that you've been doing to really make it work for you as well. What an amazing, amazing tool. Thank you again for sharing it with us, and thanks you guys for joining us for it. And let's keep the conversation going. Like, what are some different ways that you can see using Koala with your tutoring business? Do you think this is something that, you know, the parents would appreciate and like and really see as valuable? You know, you can make it as simple or as difficult as you want. And I think that's the cool thing. Like, you can just go to a board and you can just open up a website that you're just typically used to using, or you can create these boards ahead of time and reuse them with each of your students. You can put in as much work as you want, or as the least amount of work that you want. It's totally up to you. It can be used in both situations. So thanks again, Robin, for sharing that with us. And thanks you guys for joining us. So enjoy the rest of your day, you guys, and we'll see all of you soon. Bye, everyone.